Hello, fourth grade. Good to see you. I'm very excited because art show is here. You're like, what is art show, Miss Cravens? No one knows what that is. I will tell you. So in the past and this year, every grade is getting a super special project to do. So the kids here are doing it and y'all will be doing it at home as well. So this is the fourth grade project. Oh yeah, which we'll talk about in just a second. So in the past, all of this beautiful art, so this should be like the best piece of art you've made to date, like in your life, like of the year, at least in school for sure. And what's gonna happen is in the past, we had put it in the gym, museum, gallery style. This year, since we cannot gather in the gym to have an evening of art, we're doing a digital, virtual, online art show. So after we make our art, you're gonna take a really nice picture of it, like a really nice picture, turn it in, give it to me, and I'm putting that piece of art in a gallery art movie that we're gonna send out to everyone. We'll play it during lunchtime. It'll be really cool so we can admire everyone's art. We can look at other people's, they can see yours. You will even be able to like have the ability to send this to people you might know that even don't go to this school, don't live nearby. It'll be super cool. So for fourth grade, y'all have this week to pick up this packet. This packet says fourth grade art show kit. Everything you need is in here, minus a pair of scissors. It says right there, it says you will still need scissors. I was not able to like give people scissors. You will probably have some around. But what you're making with this is with this Model Magic. Y'all got a little piece of Model Magic, which is cool. We're making a Model Magic bouquet. So it's a little bit of a 3D piece because it comes off the page. There's this really cool textured paper, and everyone's gonna have a little bit of a color differentiation. So like you might not have a green background, you might not have a white table or a blue vase. It's completely random. I literally chose out of a pile, put them in a bag, called it a day. And so we'll talk about how to get all this stuck down, how to make different arrangements. It's really fun. It's pretty easy. And I just colored this thing with markers. Who would have thought? So this is the video to learn how to do this. Join me, and this is gonna be a really fun project. I'm super excited. Let's go. Let's start by kind of taking apart what's in this bag. So we do know we'll need scissors. I'll grab those in just a moment. We don't even need them for that much, I will tell you. Okay, so here is our list. Okay, on this list, we've got the background paper. That is this big piece of paper here. It says 2 textured papers. That would be these 2 pieces, one long, one more small rectangular, but they have a texture to them. Okay, a glue bottle, the little mini glue bottle, the Model Magic itself, ooh la la, and some markers. You might not even need these markers in the end. You might. You know, it all depends on what you want to use, what you got around, but I thought I would provide them for you just in case you need them. I used them, so there they are. What we're gonna start with is I'm gonna put markers, Model Magic to the side. We'll get to that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and put our background together. So the background is fairly simple. It's the background, the foreground, and the vase. So let's go ahead and find those specific pieces and get that put together. Okay, so background, putting that in the portrait direction, because it will be a vase. Find that wider, kind of shorter rectangle. So this is like the long, skinny one. This is for something else. Let's go ahead. You can use a glue stick or you can use this glue bottle. I didn't give you a glue stick, but you know, whatever you have. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this. I'm gonna put a couple strategic baby dots around because liquid glue sometimes leaves a little bit of like, you can see it from the front, but if you kind of make small dots and like spread that around a little bit, it isn't as noticeable. So corners and that. And I'm gonna place that right here on the bottom. This will be a little bit short on the sides because when it crinkled, because I crinkled all of it with a special machine, you know, it waves, so it shortens just a little bit, which is kind of a cool fact, actually. Okay, got that on there. Now for this longer piece, this is going to be the vase. So the vase obviously does not need to be this tall. It's just like the piece of paper I gave you. Oh no, don't run out of battery. My phone's yelling at me. I'm back. Technical difficulties, phone's dying. Either way, this is gonna turn into the vase. So there's several options for vases. Like you can really kind of research that on your own. It could stay a little more rectangular. That'd be totally fine. Or it can just like chop it off here. You can make this very much more round as long as it has two things. It kind of needs a flat bottom, even like this one is flat with a curved side. So all I had done for that one is I had curved up, and I might try something a little different this time. Let's see, I'm gonna try, it's gonna curve up, and it's gonna go up like that. So, you know what, kind of experiment. You've got two sides to try it on, but you do wanna keep this kind of as big down here, and you want it to be a little wider on top. There we go. Ta-da. So I have sketched out a vase. Like I said, it could be a rectangle. It could be as simple as this is flat, it curves out, it was flat right there as well. Curve out, I went in. As long as it's flat on the top and the bottom, you are set. All right, now I shall cut this out. I mean, even if I mess up, I would have had enough room up here to try again. Look at that. So this side has a little bit of marker on it. I'm just gonna flip that to the clean side. And you don't wanna glue it down to the bottom and not up here. You want it to go, I don't even call it half and half. It's mostly on the base, but just like a little poking out, because we want all this to be like Model Magic space. So on that side, I don't like. That is it for the paper. You can always like save this for something else if you want, or you know, it is yours now. Do what you please if you have extra. Now what we get to do is the Model Magic. So you can really make any kind of floral arrangement that you're interested in. I'm just gonna be here to give y'all a couple of ideas of things you could do. You can even kind of research like different kinds of flowers and maybe try to recreate something that you see. I've seen a student even make like a rose before. I'm gonna show y'all some easy ones. So, Model Magic's pretty nice. It will dry basically overnight. So after I'm done today, I cannot color it yet. Can't color it wet. It'd be kind of sticky and mushy. So don't do that. We're just kind of building it today. And it should stick to the paper. And if it doesn't, that's why I gave you glue. You'll see, find out tomorrow, the next time we work on it. So I'm gonna roll this into a ball. And one kind of flower you can do is I just kind of mush it a little bit, like that. Very careful because it's stuck to the table now. This is what I call just like a very simple like thumbprint. It's like a thumbprint flower. On the middle of this, you can make a little thumbprint, and even if it's like a little hard, get the end of your marker and like push it down a little bit. Smooth it out. All right, and I'm gonna put that one like right there. Moosh, moosh, moosh. Stick, stick, stick. All right, there's an example. From there, you can use this as a center of a flower. That is what I did with this one. I did that as the center, and I added little leaves, and leaves, petals. Can't add leaves, we'll talk about leaves later. I'll show you how to make these. These are super easy in case you want to make a flower like this, kind of sunflowery. I made mine a sunflower, it doesn't have to be. You don't need a super big piece, depends on how big you want the flower to be. Everything's gonna start with a ball for the most part. Okay, moosh it again. And then I'm just gonna kind of start pinching, flattening. Pinching, because you want a pointy side. And then here's the cool part. If you're worried about it being not flat enough, the other side, because it's been on the table, so nice and flat. It's a good trick, because if you pat it on the table, table's the flattest thing around. Then you just kind of mush that together. there it is. And then you would just kind of continue on, like roll, 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 flatten, press, press, pinch, pinch, press, 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 pinch, pinch, pinch. I never want to like push super hard because then, you know, it's going to stick to something. This will stick to things if you're not careful. And then attach it on. So you can kind of experiment with that. So I won't bore you with this. I can come back and finish that a little bit later. Some other ideas. You can always, this is a super easy one, get a bigger pinch once again. Start with a ball. And then you can always just, this is a weird one. We'll see if it works out. It should. You just go pinch, pinch, dip, pinch, make a dip, pinch, pinch. You're kind of just pinching around the edges, and wherever the petal would be, you're like push it down, push it down. If I pinched here, I'm gonna push here. Pinch and push and pinch and push. Push it in. I'm gonna flatten that out a little bit. Push, 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 push. Flattening it out just a little bit because I think it'd look good. A lot of this is gonna be just experimental, guys. Does it need to look like a really, really super real flower? No, absolutely not. Because I like to flip that over, have it be a little flatter. And there's another one. Oh, I might put that, let's see. Some of these you might make and you don't know where to put them yet. So you're gonna maybe put it aside until you can figure out where you want it to go. Because we are kind of arranging this. So sometimes I'll make a couple things and then I will figure out where they go a little bit later. Like that would look pretty good, like right, I'm gonna overlap a little bit, like right there. Very nice. And on the other one, I didn't do any stems because I didn't think I'd see any stems. They're all kind of close. Like I'm starting to overlap that vase. I overlapped the vase quite a bit. That is up to you if you want to put a stem in. If you'd like to, just make it out of a coil of Model Magic. If you're like, I'm just gonna really fill this full, then a stem might not be something that you necessarily need on your project. Let's see, I'm trying to think of a couple other ways. It's always like when you're on camera, you're like, I forgot all those ways I learned how to make flowers. I forgot. Yeah, let me finish this one up. I do know a couple other ways. Another one we can do is, after I do this, dun, 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 there we go. I'm gonna make a center. On this one, I'm just gonna do a little circle center. I'm gonna make this pretty easy. Just make a little dot. I'm gonna put it right here. That'll be a good middle. And you could, on this one, I actually used coils as an option. But something you could do coils of different sizes. They could be thicker, they could be thinner. You just gotta stick it on like that. So coils are an option, look kind of sunshiny. Or you could even do like little baby spheres all around it. So it is up to you to kind of experiment a little. Like the cool thing about like flowers is, you know, flowers look like a lot of things. And it's really hard to create something that's so crazy that someone says, I don't know if that's a flower. Like this doesn't really look like a flower I've ever seen before. But, I mean, looks like a flower to me. All right, I'll finish this one up. It'll be a little weird one, but it'll be fun. You know, on this one, I might add a stem because I kind of have space for that. So attach a stem. I'm making it a little bigger than this, I'm hoping I am. I'm gonna kinda, I might even use my scissors. Give it that a slice so it's an even, I know, there we go. An even, flatten it out as it gets close to the vase so it kind of looks like it's going in it. Awesome. So there's another one. I just kind of made it up. I might even add, oh, I might have to wait till it dries a little bit more. No, I won't. Some little dots in there, some texture dots. Like I said, a lot of this is going to be experimentation. Maybe, like I said earlier, it's like you may have to look up something if you're really interested in making it look a certain way. I might even add a little middle to that one. And I even put a vine on my original one that was like on the vase with little tiny flowers on it. So that's another option. I kind of just attached it and let it go and put little guys on there. If you want something to really stick, so Model Magic, if you want it to stick, like you gotta really kind of push it together. If you're just kind of like this, like it's gonna fall apart. That is something that a lot of people make mistakes on. You really have to like squish it like together. All right, well, I'm gonna finish this up, probably make up a couple more things for like this here, and we will talk after. All my Model Magic. I put a lot on here. If you don't use every single piece, that's okay. But, I kind of started at one point, was like, when in doubt, add some leaves, which are very similar to this shape, but you pinch this side and this side till you get that ellipsis shape, which is that pointy oval shape. And all of this is gonna be fairly malleable, which means like movable, bendable. I would say for the next like hour. Now is at the point where it's like you kind of have to stop. You can't continue at this point. It's going to take at least 2 days to do this because it needs a full 24 hours, if not more than that. You'll have to check on it tomorrow to dry. So if it's like slightly spongy tomorrow, like it feels kind of cold, but like it's a little more hard, it's a little spongy, that's okay. You can kind of continue. But if it is like really soft, like to where if you poke it, like I poked that and it left a dent, like, ooh, let's see if I can fix that. I might be able to. Maybe I'll have to add some texture. There's 2 ways you can color this. 2 ways. You can use the markers. So I actually had used markers on mine and it worked just fine. Some patches are a little more, some colors work a little better than others, but it actually looks really good. It works really, really well. Or if you do have paint, you could paint this too. It really just depends. If you have paint at home and you'd like to use it, it cannot be a watercolor. No watercolor, it has to be a normal paint. You can use that, or you can use these markers. I will do a demonstration of some things you need to do when you color it. So just come back to this part of the video. It's not gonna work as well as it's a little squishy, but you'll get the idea. So when you're coloring this with marker, a lot of people are just tempted to color like, oh, I'm looking at it like right above. So I'm just gonna be carefully like, just get that. So here's the thing. This is a slightly 3D object. So one, you are gonna need to be looking at it from the side. So you'll need to be coloring the sides. Also, one last piece of coloring advice besides flipping and turning your paper around is, feel free to I would not mix colors completely because we all know that that just ends up making gray or brown. I mean, if you want brown, use the brown marker I gave you. But, you know, it's like, say I color this orange. I won't color the whole thing just to save some time. Coloring that orange. I won't even do the sides, which is killing me because I really want to do it. Okay. But maybe I grab some red and I'm like, ooh, maybe a little like red, like lines, a little extra design on there. Like that could be nice. I had done that even on this yellow one with some black because those are sunflowery to me. So keep in mind like the way you want to design things. You do have to go a little, that's a leaf. Now it's a petal. It's a red leaf. Maybe it's fall. Like I was saying, pay attention or else you'll end up like me coloring the wrong things. It's not the end of the world. It's a piece of art. But, you know, color carefully. You want to kind of avoid getting these little dots on other things. If it happens, it happens. If you color it nicely for the most part, those little tiny mistakes will never, ever, ever be noticed. And this is it, guys. Once you get this project done, I won't sit here and bore you by coloring the entire thing. Once you get done, it is your responsibility to take a really nice picture of this. So a couple pieces of advice with the picture is if you've got stuff like all around it like this, that's gonna actually distract people from seeing your artwork. They'll be like, oh, glue, cool. Like, no, move everything out of the way. And then two, I can't get everything out of the way, it's too, we're very small. Really like zoom in on your picture. You may need someone to help you, like take it on a phone and then get a really nice picture. Don't let the room be too dark because everyone's gonna see your artwork in the art show and you could have the most beautiful piece of artwork on the whole planet, but if it's a bad picture, no one's gonna think it's pretty. So this is our wonderful art show project. You can add little final details, like I added a pattern on that wall. If you'd like to do so here as well, please do. But otherwise, have fun. This is a really cool project. I can't wait to see what kind of arrangement y'all think of, if it's very like beautiful and like realistic or like very like fantasy plants. Like, I'm interested to know what y'all think of. Enjoy this and have a good time. I'll see y'all later.